Hi, everyone. Welcome to Solaris' Summer of Love. I am your host, MC Solaris, paranormal romance author of the Orion's Order series, which is, yep, you guessed it, all about love. Today, I'm so excited to introduce you to someone who I met during our practitioner training with Dr. Stephen Farmer, someone who is a dear, dear friend of mine and someone who I consider a shamanic sister. Someone who is here today to share her wisdom and gifts with us in the form of sound and energy healing. Someone who holds the most amazing moon ceremonies every month, and I totally recommend you join them, by the way. They are virtual. So without further ado, please meet Brook Albrigo. Brook is an intuitive energy worker and music witch that utilizes quantum Reiki and shamanic techniques. With 10 years of experience doing energy work, she weaves all of her tools together to customize a unique healing experience for individuals and groups. Today, she's going to offer us clearing, opening, and activating the heart center with energy and sound. So hello, Brook. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Marina. Thanks for having me. It's always so nice to work together. I know that I've brought you in on my group things too, and it's always so fun to get to collaborate.
I love it. I love collaborating with you and just having the opportunity, even like I said, to be in your gifts, your space, what you do, what you offer. I love joining your moon ceremonies. And like I said to everyone, I highly recommend that everyone joins. She hosts it virtually, like I said, via Zoom. And they're awesome. I love joining in when I can.
Thank you.
And they're, like she says, they're introvert friendly. So if you're like me and you don't want to be on camera or anything like that, her ceremonies are introvert friendly.
They are.
Okay, so before we dive into your offering, did you have anything that you'd like to preface or share beforehand?
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting, when you talked to me about doing this, I didn't really know what the planetary astrological, themes were going to be. And when I actually looked into it a few days ago, it made so much sense that you would choose this time to focus on the theme of love. For those of you that are familiar with astrology or aren't familiar with astrology, I'll kind of go into that a little bit. So Venus is the planet of love. It's the planet of harmony and beauty and relationships. It's like how we relate to one another and ourselves. And for pretty much the whole month of June, starting from the 2nd to the 26th, we have Venus moves into Cancer. And Cancer is a water sign, so it's definitely a lot of emotions coming up. Cancer is all about how we feel nurtured, how we nurture ourselves, and feeling safe, practicing good boundaries. But the other interesting thing about it is that Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon represents our unconscious. It's like these deeper parts of ourselves that we might not always be aware of, and particularly emotionally. So I saw this as a really beautiful opportunity to kind of dig deep into that more shadowy, unconscious, emotional realm in the heart center, because I feel like love can seem like one of these things that we're always trying to obtain or chase outside of ourselves, when the truth is it's actually always there within. And I wanted to really work on feeling into these blocks or old stories that maybe we're holding in our heart center that's keeping us from knowing that truth and always feeling that love that's just a part of who we are. It's never something separate. So I really use that meditation to kind of just guide people to feel into that, to use this more emotional energy to flow with it. You might hear too in the background of the meditation, I have a wave machine going just to kind of help call in that water energy to help you flow, to help you kind of flush a lot of this energy and any emotional stagnant stuff that's stuck in the heart center. So it's really important that you're relaxing just so you can receive. I recommend to lie down for it. You can sit up if you feel better meditating that way, but lying down really is the best way to receive. Make sure you're in a nice comfortable space where you're not going to be disturbed. I recommend an eye pillow or an eye mask, maybe burning some incense if that helps you kind of relax and kind of tap into yourself. Also for the sound quality, I recommend like a nice Bluetooth speaker. I know like newer laptops actually have pretty nice speakers. So if you know yours are good, that's fine. But it does make a difference to have quality sound. So either a Bluetooth speaker or nice headphones, you know, not like the phone ones, but like the nice ones that cover your ears is recommended. So make sure you have all that before you start the meditation.
Sorry, I muted myself because there's like a trash truck going on right now. So I apologize to anyone who can hear that. And thank you for sharing all of that. And before we dive in, I just wanted to, as you were talking, I didn't know that about Venus. And so I loved that even like astrologically, like this is just like a huge thing that's coming up. And for those of you who didn't watch like the intro video of how this came about, this event, it was just, I woke up one day and I felt really inspired to bring more love into our lives, to the world at this time. It just felt really called to do it. And so I loved that the Venus is like aligning with that and we're getting that aspect too. And I loved how you talked about, the like this whole like shadow side and kind of like clearing out this our stories, and you use that word story, and of course me being an author, I honed in on that. And because, you know, we, all of us, you, me, every single person who ends up watching this, we all are our own heroine or hero, depending on which gender, of our own story. You know, we are living our own story, we're living our own hero's journey. And so it's like, right now, Brook is giving you an opportunity through this platform to kind of like clear out, energetically clear out and address, even if not consciously, just setting your intention is powerful enough to just be like, yeah, I'm going to welcome. And the whole point of this is to bring more love into our lives. And Brook, of course, being the medicine woman she is, added all these additional layers that I know I appreciate to help kind of like clear out the past. And if we even think about your favorite movies or your favorite books, if you read books, hopefully, or even in my stories, they're romance stories, so they're all about love, right? But if you think about that hero's journey, they're faced with this like decision to like kind of like let go of their past. A lot of them, you know, a lot of heroes and heroines have like pasts that define them and their actions moving forward. And so this is an opportunity for you to kind of come face to face with it, whether consciously or not, and choose to kind of like let go of some old stories, let go of old patterns, and welcome in more love into your life.
Yes, that's the activation. That's just being receptive to love. And yeah, the old story stuff, it's like, that's just one aspect. I mean, we have all these old untrue stories that we tell ourselves all the time about pretty much everything, right? But love is such a huge one because it's so, you know, everyone's had their heart broken or, you know, and we don't want to feel that pain again. So we'll make up a little story around it. So we protect that. And again, that brings me back to that Cancer energy where we want to be the crab, you know, it's the crab. We want to be in our shell, and, you know, so like nothing can get in. But that's part of the activation, is like not letting that harden you, like letting it soften you so you can stay open, stay activated, and be even more receptive, you know, and like be really brave about it. So I like that you talked about that hero's journey, because having an open heart takes a lot of courage, you know.
Absolutely. What you just said about love, and you talked about this even in the beginning. And so thank you for bringing it up again, because I wanted to touch on it before we dive in. And it's how love in these romance stories, or at least mine in particular, and many out there, but they're romance stories. So you think, oh, you know, they're out and they're going to go find love externally in another person. And yes, you know, in these stories, you get your happy ever after, and you do, and you find love. But there's also this self-discovery, and what you talked about, how the love is on the inside. That's a huge theme in my books. And so this discovering who you are, and this whole, finding that the love is within you, and that's that's a part of your power, that's a part of your magic. And that's, of course, in fantasy stories or in real life, but that's such a key thing. And even with this whole event, again, some of you may not have listened to the initial videos, and that's okay. You don't have to. But you can, if you want, you can go back to my Instagram and totally look at the videos, or on YouTube. But the point was, a lot of this is inviting more love into your life is this internal journey, and seeing how that, yes, that may affect like some things externally, like you might run into you might meet someone, you might do other things, like who knows, but it's really an internal journey, and that's what this whole thing is about. Okay, so I feel like I could keep talking to you for hours and hours and hours. But do you have anything else that you wanted to share or preface before we dive into your offering?
No, I just want people to go into it with an open mind, open heart, no judgment. Just be open to what comes up for you and let it kind of take you on a journey.
I love that. Yes. The journey part. That's coming up strong. Anyways, I'll stop talking, but every time I'm in your sound healings, it's a journey that happens. So yeah, open your heart and just be open to the journey that happens, like Brooke said.
Make sure you're in a comfortable position where you can relax and receive undisturbed. Connecting to the breath, taking some deep breaths into the belly, letting it fully rise and expand. Holding for 3 seconds, and then exhaling out the mouth. Doing a few rounds of this deep belly breathing. Feeling the body getting more relaxed, imagining that every muscle is softening and expanding with each breath that you take. As you sink into the earth beneath your body, allowing it to cradle you safely, knowing that you're held. I want you to imagine a big ball of light surrounding you. You can go ahead and make it whatever size feels good, whatever color calls to you. Knowing that this ball of light around you protects you, and that nothing may enter it without your permission. You're totally safe in this ball of light that you created for yourself. For the clearing and energy work we'll be doing today. Calling in your higher self, your I am presence. Calling in your healing teams and guides of divine truth that wish to work with this heart clearing that we'll be doing today. Maybe you notice some ancestors showing up, or animals, or angels, however they show up, and you might not see them, but feel or sense their presence, and that's okay. Sometimes it's just a knowing, you know they're there. However you connect, there's no wrong way. We're going to focus on our intention today, which is to clear and open our heart center so that we may be more open to receiving love, to healing the parts of ourselves around the the theme of love. And I want you to bring both hands up to the heart center. Just feeling your heartbeat, pumping life force through your body. The element of our heart center is air. So taking a deep breath and really connecting to that element of air. For without it, we can't have life. Giving gratitude to all of the plants that make it possible for us to breathe the air. Connecting to the air animals, all the birds that teach us how to communicate openly, how to make our words soar, how to look to new beginnings, rebirth and springtime. And knowing that our hearts come from that same energy, and that no matter how many times we have our heart broken, it always mends itself, and we always get a new beginning to love. And keep your hands on your heart if you feel called to. If you'd like to bring them down to your side, if that feels more comfortable, that's fine too. We're going to start to clear out the space in the chest. Embracing this air element that carries the sound waves, the vibration. Areas that maybe feel uncomfortable hands to your heart if they aren't already there. Both hands. Breathing deeply into that heart space. Feeling the expansion. Tapping into that inner child that loved so freely, that found beauty in every little thing, found joy in simplicity. And making a promise to yourself in this moment that you will love yourself more deeply, show yourself unconditional love and compassion and understanding. And you'll keep your heart open, even if it's scary. Calling in that beautiful emerald green. Feel it filling that entire heart space. Notice any animals that have been drawn to this heart area. To help remind you, reconnect you with this essence of love that you are. Go ahead and take a few deep, deep breaths into the belly, letting it rise and expand. Exhaling out the mouth. Each breath that you take anchors you deeper and deeper into the body, into the physical. Becoming aware of the body again by bringing your awareness of the temperature and sensation of the air on your skin. Bringing a little bit of movement back by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Maybe taking a stretch. Giving yourself a little bit of time to slowly let the eyes flutter open. Don't rush this. Make sure you drink lots of water today and the day or two after. sometimes when we do deeper clearings and they're a little more emotional, it takes a few days to process it. So be very gentle with yourself, listen to your body, just allow whatever's coming up to come up as you're still releasing any of those blockages that come to the surface. And a good stone to work with if you're still clearing a lot of heart stuff is the rose quartz. So let me see, I think I have a piece over here somewhere. Maybe I don't. Just a small piece of rose quartz right on the heart. And if you don't own rose quartz, that's fine. Rose water works, or rose oil, or an actual rose. Any of that rose energy is just super nurturing, very healing and gentle. So having it anywhere around this space will help you integrate the work that we did today. And if you have any questions or want to share your experience, don't hesitate to reach out. And I thank you so much for following your heart and spending this day with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for that lovely sound healing and activation and energy work. It was truly, truly, all your sound healings are always so special. And like I said in the beginning, I always try and go to your offerings because I love it, even if it's just whatever happens, whether you experienced a actual journey or you sat there and felt relaxed, that's all things of the spectrum is so amazing. And to your point about at the end, you talked about rose quartz and just like inviting more of that like rose energy into our space. So I wanted to share, I have a rose quartz crystal here, and then also the rose quartz water. It's pink. And also just some rose quartz or rose, and there is rose quartz in here, but it's like bath salts too. I just figured I'd kind of maybe show these and give some what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always brain dead after sound healings. So examples. I just wanted to show some examples of what you could possibly, and I don't know if you wanted to, if you had any other thoughts on rose quartz or anything else before we close.
Yeah, well, working with rose energy, you don't have to go buy a big crystal if you don't have one. That's the beautiful thing about working with rose energy. You can literally go pick a rose from a garden or buy one from the store. But rose is just such a powerful heart healer because of just how they like slowly open up and like bloom, and also having those thorns for like the boundaries, that thorn medicine, loving boundaries. Any way you can tap into that rose energy. If you're feeling a little bit like after this healing, you still are clearing a lot, which is totally normal. It can, like I said in the video, it could take a few days to really finish clearing what we worked on. And I can't stress how important it is to just be really like gentle with yourself and open to your process. I always find that journaling for me, you being a writer, I'm sure you have like crazy journals, but anytime I have any kind of experience where things are coming up or I'm feeling certain things, just writing it all down, even if it doesn't make sense as I'm writing it, but just getting it out helps me process. So just allow yourself to feel it and integrate it whatever way feels best for you. And I'm definitely here if anyone has questions.
Thank you. So speaking of which, if people have any questions for you, they can drop them in the comments, or where can, also if they want more of you, where can they find you?
Yeah, so absolutely in the comments. If anyone wants to send me something a little more private, if you want to email, my email is just my first and last name, so brookalbrigohealing@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, just at Brook Albrigo. There's no E in my name, so just BROOKALBRIGO. And I welcome DMs as well, so you can get me through there. And then on my website is brookalbrigohealing.com. So there's multiple ways to get a hold of me and find all my offerings.
Perfect. And I will, for anyone who's like, wait, what? And they're trying to scramble to write that down, I'll drop all of that in the captions or the description
Perfect.
So you guys can totally go and stalk her in a friendly way. Right?
Yeah. Watch out for my thorns.
Right, yeah, watch out for her thorns. She may be this amazing rose, but she definitely has some amazing boundaries. I'm telling you. This is just a total side story, and then we'll close because I know you probably. Anyway, so just a total side story. When we were in our one of our shamanic things, and when we were doing our practitioner training, I don't even know if I want to share this, but whatever, I won't. The thing is, Brooke has some strong boundaries. That's all I'm gonna say. And she's a total badass. I don't know if we can
I remember that story. I know what story you're talking about.
You're a total badass, and you have like, sorry, my eyes watering. So you just have great boundaries. So even if you got, the only thing that you got out of this was like, I feel like I need some help with boundaries. Brooke is a total badass with that. So she can absolutely help you with that on so many levels.
Thanks, Marina.
You're welcome. Okay, so on that note, I think we'll close. So thank you so much for Brooke for being here, for offering that. It's such a gift. It's such a gift always to be in your medicine. And anyone who joined and watched and experienced, let us know how you felt in the comments. Let us know what came up for you, or message us. We'd love to know. We'd love to know.
Yeah, sharing can be so healing. Sometimes you have to just like get it out to have it make sense. So I definitely second sharing your experience. And thank you for having me. Such a pleasure to always work with you. And I just have so much love and respect for you. And it's just been so amazing to watch your journey unfold, and just how much you've put yourself out there. It's so inspiring.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Ditto, ditto, ditto. I love you so much.
I love you too.